treating them as a nightmare. Following her recovery, Marianne returns to the clinic. She plans to have 2 children. Husband is so happy that he wants to bring her to Scotland. However, Marianne cannot sleep whenever she thinks of Scotland. She describes all that to husband. But husband firmly tells her they have never been to Scotland before. Marianne alone ruminates on the dream and wonders if it really happens. But she even remembers Beardy Hormone's phone number. On a sleepless night, she finally dials the number. The receiver denies knowing it, but she recognizes his voice and confirms that he is Beardy Hormone, her boyfriend. All of a sudden, she seems to realize certain things and heads to Scotland for verification. According to the address in the dream, she finds the psychology clinic. She finds the manager and colleagues are exactly those who live in her dream, but they do not know her. What's more important, there is no.
Continue on National Highway 34 for 87 kilometers.
What she has gone through was not merely a dream, but a parallel world created by her suicide. Cat could be dead or alive. The gun could exist or not exist in the drawer. When she chooses to open the drawer, one world with a gun and another world without a gun are created. When she chooses to date Beardy Hormone, one world with a new relationship and another world without the relationship are unfolding. 2 parallel worlds emerge in every decision she makes. If all the previous assumption is true, she has to know how she revives after killing herself. To solve the mystery, she enters the archives room and finds Manny's medical record lying on the floor. This poses as a bug to her. If Manny has never visited the clinic, his medical record would not appear in the archive room. Piecing up all information, she deduces that she might not have escaped from the thumb of Manny. Just when she cannot figure it out, Manny walks out of the room. He arrogantly announces that he has given Marianne a chance to live her life anew, but her choice upsets him. Marianne's choice determines her destiny. In the previous world, Marianne is doomed when she opens the drawer. In the current world, Marianne cannot avoid death when she makes the call to Beardy Hormone. In fact, Beardy Hormone has fallen dead from the stairs. Husband will also die because of her. Marianne opens the medical record, but to her disappointment, it is all empty. This is because Manny is a healthy child in this particular world. She takes out everything and finds a gun with a picture. The picture shows that a man dies of a hurricane. Soon after, Marianne receives a call from her friend that husband has lost his life in a hurricane. Breaking down, Marianne screams in hysteria. She has no idea why her life is so miserable. Among thousands of men on the earth, she alone was transferred from one world to another and said to go through so many hardships. Marianne wants to shout at Manny, but he is long gone without any traces. And then Marianne trembles her way out of the clinic, armed with a gun. The policeman takes her as a psychopath and captures her. To her dismay, Manny shows up at the quarantine room and watches her suffer. Marianne cannot tell which world is real. It is also unclear when the 2 parallel worlds begin. The end of the movie reveals that both worlds are merely an imagination of Manny. Marianne and the characters related to her do not exist in reality. The autistic child is traumatized by his parents' sudden death. To manage the fear of losing them, he creates a world dominated by himself. In his world, a psychologist with a similar experience like his mom accompanies him. She would discover the gun in the drawer and suffer pain resulting from her choices, while Manny would try to interfere. In her just imagination, traces of the boy who is longing to choose the right way out of his own family's tragedy. This is Dango CC Movie Channel. Peace out. Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a science fiction crime film, The Soul. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with 2 policemen arriving at an opulent mansion in the middle of the night after receiving an emergency call from the chairman of a cancer research technology corporation. The maid hurriedly lets them in and leads them through a hallway into a door marked with a strange symbol. They step inside the room and see the chairman and his wife murdered and lying on the floor with blood everywhere. An ornate dagger is found near the wife's body. Suddenly, she moves and the policeman steps back in shock. The scene cuts to a pregnant detective attending a prenatal checkup in the hospital with her prosecutor husband. The ultrasound looks good, and the baby is healthy. The couple then goes to their next appointment, this time to an oncologist for the latest diagnosis of the prosecutor's cancer. The latest scans show that the cancer cells inside his body have metastasized and are resisting the chemotherapy he has been undergoing. If the cells spread to his brain, he will die soon. His oncologist recommends that he sign up for an experimental clinical trial for RNA restoration. On the way from the hospital, the couple argues about their financial situation. The preliminary genetic testing alone will cost them hundreds of thousands, and the clinical trial would cost them more. The prosecutor goes to the station to talk to his boss. He informs him that his wife is pregnant, and he is worried that he'll be leaving them penniless when he dies. He asks his boss to assign him to a case so he can work while he still can. He even volunteers for the Chairman murder case and assures his boss that he's the only one fit for the job. The first task for the prosecutor's investigative team is interviewing the wife, who stands to inherit everything her husband had left behind. She arrives at the station and is ushered into a room where the detective is waiting to interrogate her. The detective's husband is watching everything from behind a one-way mirror in the room. The wife begins to tell them what happened the previous night. She had noticed the strange